think it's in North Tacoma, where this one-way tunnel is, and she proceeds to go through, and about halfway, she meets this truck coming the other way. For about a half an hour, they stand out there arguing about who was in there the furthest and who was going to back up and who wasn't. And Mom was not going to back up because she said she was more than halfway and he'd have to just move his truck. And he just argued with her and said, she said, I'm not moving my car. And he says, well, I'm not moving my truck either. And I get paid by the hour. I could stay here all day. So Mom finally backed up, but she was really mad. From there, the very same day, went down to a service station to get some gas. And when she got her change, she said, I didn't get the right change. I think he shortchanged me. And she said, I'm going to go back and ask him. So she went in there and she said, I think you didn't give me the right change. And he said, well, I think I did, ma'am. She said, I gave you a 20. And you didn't give me back the right change. And he says, no, you didn't give me a 20. I did too. And he said, no, ma'am. He said, he opened up the till and shows her no 20s in there at all. And she said, you have it on your person then? But she wouldn't give up for nothing. And the kid didn't, his pocket emptied them out and everything. I don't have it, ma'am. And so she's all right then. She said, I think I'll report you or something like that. And she was really mad. Went down the street a little ways and she looked in her purse again. Oh my God, I found the money. I said, oh Mom, I was so embarrassed anyway. Over the tunnel and then over the gas. Okay, now what do I have to say?
You kids don't shut up back there, I'm going to kill us all.
Yeah, that's when we were driving
Whenever
in the car.
the car. If we did something she didn't like, you kids just, okay, I'm going to kill us all. I'm going to kill us all.
Or we'd have to, if you kids don't be quiet and quit your fighting, you're going to have to say the rosary.
Yeah, and it wasn't just one decade of the
No,
rosary.
it was a whole
all
thing.
15 decades with their arms stretched out. Kneeling on a piece of stove wood. Right where the crease gets you.
To learn prayers. Can we think of some good things? Well,
Yes.
She used to take us to the lake sometimes. After berry picking all day.
My most embarrassing moment with Mom was when we went up to the cathedral at St. James Church. Some priests were being ordinated, you know, into the priesthood.
Can't you aim that thing at her?
And Mom was
Just a second.
Sure.
Mom had to go to the bathroom, and when she had to do something like this, she couldn't wait. You know, she couldn't wait to go see where the regular public bathroom was. No, she had to use this bathroom right outside the door. And what it was the room connecting to the back of the altar, you know, where they get dressed. What do you call that? Well, anyway, it was the private bathroom of all these young guys becoming priests, and they were supposed to be dressing and stuff for the ceremony. Well, Mom put me outside the door to watch to make sure nobody goes in. Well, I can't stop them from going in there. So she goes in, and by golly, some of those young men were in there, came in there later, and so, well, she just got off the toilet and just marched right out, and they just turned redder than a beet. That was embarrassing.
Well, that was embarrassing. Didn't she fart in church too?
Well, she did that lots of times.
I mean, in the same cathedral
Oh, I don't remember.
at that time.
I don't remember.
I thought I remembered just, and then she blamed it on you. Anyway, the priest got ordained anyhow, but she used their bathroom.
Well, see, Mom was always aspiring for us to be nuns or priests. That's why Leo went into the order. Byron, they tried him out seminary, and he lasted 3 months. But the reason why I got to go down to Vancouver to school is because Mom thought I was going to become a nun. And she was going to take me one time. It was right off my 8th grade graduation. She's going to take me to Seattle over St. Anne's Orphanage, where she was, where she was raised. And on the bus, we met some postulants, or the sisters of Providence. And of course, when Mom was telling how I'm going to become a nun and blah, blah, blah. And, we had no say-so in our future. Mom had it all mapped out for us. Anyway, so of course they see a prospect here. And so they talked her into coming up to their novitiate with me. And so I go up there and they entertain us and wine and dine us all afternoon, and stuff. And so then Mom says how poor we are and we have 13 kids and I can't pay for schooling. So Mother Superior says, well, we have a school down in Vancouver, Providence Academy. Would you like to go there? And I said, yeah, I've never been out of the state of Washington in my life. And Mother Superior says, this is in the state of Washington. I thought, oh man, I tell you, I never heard of Vancouver in my whole life. Well, anyway, I came down, married the janitor.
Is it going? Anyway, when we were kids, let's see, Dave and Jim and I, we'd send Barbara out for cigarette butts on the side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
And Mom would tell us, whenever she caught us smoking or anything, she'd say, you kids are going to get syphilis or get some disease or something from smoking those old butts on the side of the road. And so we listened to her, but we promised, well, you'll never catch us again. We never promised to quit smoking, but we promised her that she would never catch us again. Anyway, when she was gone somewhere, I think working, we were sitting around the table and we just finished lunch, and we had these glasses like this glass here, and we started sucking them up like that until they stayed on our mouths.
They're all purple.
And we were doing that for quite a while, and I went into the bathroom and looked in the mirror. All these purple things around my mouth. It was just awful. Oh my God, I came out and I think I've got syphilis. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. And at that time, we were living on Vashon Island, and I babysat for the only doctor out there. And I said, well, I don't know what I'll do. I'll call the doctor. I'll disguise my voice, put a hanky over like they used to do in the movies, where it was supposed to disguise your voice, I guess. And
we believed
said,
all that stuff.
Hello, doctor. Yes, and I said, doctor, I think I have syphilis. And he said, well, what makes you think you have syphilis? And I said, I've got all these purple things around my mouth. And he said, well, we'd really have to examine you. He said, oh, and I hung up. And I thought, everybody, we were all worried, weren't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
until about an hour and a half or 2 hours later, they all went away. So we got to think, well, it must have been from the glasses, but we had no idea what it was from. We thought we had syphilis for sure. We used to send Barbara out. Barbara was a good butt picker-upper. She had one of these peasant aprons that tied around halfway around, and she'd bunch it up like this and just toss them in. And she didn't smoke either.
No, not then.
Why did you get them for us? Just because we told you to?
Because I was always trying to win your approval, because I was at Vernice's and I got
Oh yeah,
everything.
she's a spoiled brat. When she came home from Vernice's, we'd make her do all the dirty work in the house, clean the toilets.
Hold my hair.
Because we thought she had everything. There used to be a comic strip in the paper every day too, I think.
Yes.
Where this invisible Scarlet O'Hara.
Oh yes.
And all she'd do is press a nerve in her wrist like this when she wanted to get out of a predicament or something. So I don't know what we thought, but that every time we got in trouble, we'd say, well, we'll just press our wrist here and we'll just become invisible.
Disappear.
And we really believed that.
It never worked though.
Well, we thought it did.
Well, it didn't. We never disappeared and we always got in trouble.
Well, we got in trouble whether we were there or not. I remember thinking, well, I know I'm going to get a spanking today, so I might as well do this anyway.
You want to eat? Okay, let's turn it off and eat, and then we can.
Okay. Turn
Or
around.
this way. I don't know.
I just got to turn around.
But what was I talking about now? I can't remember.
Oh, about us never.
Oh,
You
me
were
and
singing
Marie
us a
Barb.
little song. Can you sing the song again?
What? Cream of wheat?
Yeah.
Cream of wheat is so
So
good
good
to
to
eat,
eat.
and we have it every day. We sing this song and it makes us strong and it makes us shout, hooray! It's good for all the children and grown-ups too to eat. It's all the family's breakfast, you can't beat cream of wheat.
Let's pretend!
Yeah,
Oh, I loved
that was
it.
a good show.
I loved it, yeah.
A radio show.
And then they told all the fairy tales, you know.
Yeah.
But me and Bernie and Byron, we're going to run away together. Got really brave. And we got these shovels and we used to get oranges in those mesh bags, you know. So that's all we had. So we put a box of Cheerios and lots of underwear. Because it was
Cheerios in those
always
days?
stressed in our mind that we had to have clean underwear no matter what, you know. You look like heck on the outside, but you had to get clean underwear. So I think we only had one change of outer clothes and we had lots of underwear. And we started across the field. We took a shovel with us. Because we didn't have the 35 cents, this was on Vashon, we didn't have the 35 cents to ride the ferry. So we were going to dig a tunnel under the Puget Sound. Can you believe that? No kidding.
Oh.
We really thought we were going to do it too.
Did you?
Well, no, here's what happened. We started traipsing across the field. Pretty soon Bernie says, Mom went grocery shopping today. Yeah. You see what she brought back? What? Watermelon. Oh. We trudged on a little further. Pretty soon Bernie says, I'm going back and get mine. So he left. Byron and I trudged on. Pretty soon Byron says, I'm going to go back and get mine too. Well, I knew I couldn't dig that tunnel by myself, so the whole trip was for naught.
Oh, Barbara.
Yeah, isn't that sad? We could have made
What were you
man
going to
runs.
shovel it with?
A shovel. We had a
Probably
shovel.
tablespoons.
No, we caught Dad's shovel. Yeah, we had Dad's shovel. We got beyond the tablespoon stage. I remember Mom used to give us all tablespoons over on Vashon. We had that deep, what was that? Some deep hole. Anyway, Mom used to give us tablespoons to go out there and start playing with them. We played cars and stuff around it. But at Woodland, it was a stump she wanted to get out of the front yard. And she gave us all tablespoons to dig around that. It kept us busy.
Yeah, just to keep you busy.
Kept
Oh,
us busy, and we
I
loved
remember.
it.
Oh, I used to
Now
love
that, to me, that wasn't work. You know.
The-
But
the-
it really was.
the woods that we had at the house on Garden Valley. There was timber on both sides of us, and then it went way
Dad
back.
was always pulling stumps.
Yeah, Dad was always pulling stumps, but us kids would go out there and take the moss up, roll it up really good, and then get these log cabin syrup cans. They were made out of. They looked like a little log
Yeah, they
cabin.
looked like a little log cabin.
We'd have a house. We had the little teeny cars. They called them Austin. They're all metal, Austin cars or something like that. And
Sort of like the matchbox.
we made roads, and we had the moss for lawns.
Mm-hmm.
I used to love to do that.
I was a horse.
Oh yeah, Barbara.
I was a horse. I was a golden palomino.
If you ever wanted to lighten your day,
Yeah.
just think about this.
Used to put those canned milk cans on our feet, you know.
Yeah.
Gallop down Garden Valley Road. Boy, I just galloped down that road every night to go see Dad get off the bus.
Oh, that used to be a big.
But horses, now there was one drawback. Horses foam at the mouth, so I questioned this for a long time. How I was going to foam at the mouth. I solved my problem. Alka-Seltzers. Shoved my mouth full of Alka-Seltzers and they foaming and galloped down the road
You
just
see her
foaming at the mouth.
foaming at the mouth. Ugh. So that's why if you ever want to lighten your day, and you just remember that story. That was so
Oh,
funny.
I was a horse, yeah. I was
Aunt
a horse.
Flossie thought you were trying to kill yourself.
Well, no, because I couldn't find any Alka-Seltzer that one time. And so I stuffed my mouth full of aspirin, and that's when Flossie got me. She grabbed me by the neck and she choking the hell out of me, saying, "What are you trying to do? Kill yourself?" She almost choked me to death.
Yeah.
So,
I remember Aunt Flossie though when she was coming down 91st Street to visit us. And Mom had us in all different rooms of the house, supposed to be cleaning the house. And she would lead the rosary.
Oh, God.
And we had to yell
And answer her.
and answer her. We had to yell loud enough that she could hear every one of us saying it, or she wouldn't think we were saying the rosary.
Mm-hmm.
Aunt Flossie came in that door and said, "For God's sake, sounds like a bunch of holy rollers." Mom really thought, "Oh, so you're going to hell, Flossie, you're going to hell."
Flossie was funny.
We said the rosary a lot, didn't we?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Every time I had a date, we'd have to say the rosary.
We had to
before I
kneel
could-
down. As soon as we seen Everett's car come in the yard, we had to kneel down and say the
Or
rosary.
anybody. Mom would pass out holy cards when he came in.
And the poor guy would just stand there the whole time, waiting for it to get done.
Never started until they got there.
Mm-hmm.
And they had
Kept
to-
the Kotex boxes underneath the
Oh, jeez,
davenport.
Barbara.
No kidding, that's what we did.
I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, anything that was out in the open that we didn't want anybody to see, we'd kick them under the davenport.
Or put in one of the bedrooms.
And
We clean one room and just put it all in the next room.
exactly, yeah.
We didn't know where else to put it.
I remember one time, Mom went to church, I don't know, for one of her holy hours or some darn thing, and us kids were home alone, me and Bertie Byron again. Anyway, this was out at Midland, and there was a front bedroom toward the front door, and it was kind of a windy night, and this bush was kind of scratched back and forth on the window, and we thought somebody was trying to get in, so we would lay in bed and say, "Nobody ever come in here because I got all these hanger gates underneath the bed." And Byron would have machine guns and Bernie'd have machetes, and we'd just be shouting this out, to scare anybody away. And this bush or whatever it was pretty soon turned into a face knocking at the window and yelling. Scared, oh my God, we were scared out of our mind. And it was Mom. She'd locked herself out of the house and she'd trying to get in. We were petrified.
Scratch at the window.
Yeah, we were petrified. Oh, we were just petrified. But to hide our fear, we imagine all these guns and things. We didn't own any guns or nothing, We just thought that'd chase them away,
When Dan, just before Dan died, all of us kids were upstairs and we were all talking about
What you do
what we'd do if
if
the house burned down.
Yeah, if the house burned down.
And that wasn't when Dan was, I guess.
No, before Dan died, everybody was practicing the death rattle.
Yeah, the death rattle. And it was a couple weeks after that he got killed. But anyway, I remember one night at the other at the same house,
We were all talking about what we do if the house burned down.
And none of us did anything.
Jim did.
What'd he do?
Jim said, "Boy, if the house burns down, I'm going to grab the bread and the peanut butter." And he's the only one that did.
Well, there was
He toasted
Jim-
bread over the fire.
There was Jim and Dave and me. I remember you. That Mom put in the car, and we just screamed and screamed and screamed, watching their house burn down, and watching these people try to put it
I
out.
probably wasn't there. I was probably at Furnaces.
But we were all home with a pink eye, and it was in May, and it was Friday the 13th. And I remember we all got out of there. We were all in our pajamas yet because Mom said Friday the 13th, so everybody stay in bed so nothing bad will happen. But we'd all gotten up, of course, but we all had pink eye. She kept us all home from school because we had pink eye, and she was washing our eyes out with boric acid. In fact, was washing mine out when Dave came down and was trying to tell us that the house was on fire.
I'm surprised your dad didn't tell this one on me. I don't know whether it's in the archives or not, but he would always tell this tale on me, and I remember it too, when Toby, our old horse, took a leak. And I was running through the pastures being a horse, and I ran up against Toby there, and he had it hanging out to take a leak. And I remember coming screaming down that hill, bloody murder. "There's something the matter with Toby. He's got this big bomb hanging out of him, and he's gonna explode." And I was terrified. I thought that poor horse was going to die. But Bill just laughed and laughed and
That was
laughed.
after he came back from the Navy.
And he used to tell that story over and over again, so I'm surprised he didn't tell that on me.
Maybe he did.
But Toby was an old friend of mine. Poor old Toby. His big old white plow horse we had, Toby. And he would let me do just about anything to him. I used to lead him over to a stump because I wanted to ride that horse so bad. Lead him over to this stump. I'd get all prepared to throw my leg over his back, and he'd step away. We would do this all day long. If I couldn't get him to a stump, I'd put pieces of bark up against his stomach and try to climb on that. But the minute you showed any sign of getting on his back, he'd just step away. And you'd fall flat in your face.
That was the same horse that all the Wetch kids...
Is he the horse that died on Mr. Witchamajigger's lawn? No, that was another horse.
Toby.
That was another horse.
This Toby was all the Wetch kids, every one of them, Ronnie and Alice and Francis and me and Jim, Barbara and Byron and Bernie and all got on this horse all at the same time. I mean, it was kids from one end to the other.
He was that sway back one.
And we he walked clear up to the end of the road, and we just thought that was such great fun. And then he refused to come back. We all had to walk back.
He had his own mind made up about things.
But there's a picture of us on that horse together.
Somewhere.
I remember thinking that, let's see, Bill married Mary, Dick married Ann, and Joe and June were going out.
Yeah.
And Helen and Leo were kind of...
Yeah, they were seeing each other.
And so I thought, well, Tony's going to marry Francis, so I guess I have to marry Leo.
And I went out with Ronnie a couple of times.
And I went...
Ronnie wrote to me all the time when I was going to the academy.
I went to... we were playing a baseball game or something. And I remember Leo Witch and I were out in the field. We were playing scrub, I guess. And he was yelling at me for something. And I said, listen here, Leo. If we're going to get married, we better start getting along. He was like, well, it makes you think I'm going to marry you. I said, well, everybody else is getting married. I thought we're all paired off because they had 8 kids and there was about...
Yeah, it's funny how we called it. Well, some of ours were married off.
Well, Bill and Mary and Dick and Ann, but that was all.
Well, then Tony was dead and so was Danny, so they eliminated some.
Yeah.
You know.
But it was really funny. That's what we all thought for a long time.
Yeah, it's just really funny how you think. And another thing we used to love to do when we were kids, I don't know whether you did it, I'm sure you did, Evelyn. I always talk telephone. Even kids nowadays do that. You talk telephone with cans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you string this straight through them, you know, and you get up in the tree and just scream your lungs out and you pretend, why, you're really talking on the phone. Chin bark. We used to collect chin bark.
Chin bark.
Yeah. You know, when we're done.
Cascara bark, I think it's called.
Cascara, yeah, or whatever. We used to collect this bark and dry it out and sell it.
Then we'd lose it. We had to pray to St. Anthony to get it back.
Oh, yes. St. Anthony was the special saint of the house. He found car keys. He found shoes, mom's shoes. We were always praying to St. Anthony.
Yeah, we were. And Mom kept losing everything. She'd lose her shoes. Every time she went to go to town, she'd, where's my shoes? Everybody had to look for her shoes.
Mm-hmm. Or Evelyn's zinc oxide.
And then
Evelyn would hide it so she wouldn't have to have it on.
What was that white stuff you put all over my face? I looked all bad all the time.
And I had to pray finding that so Evelyn could get her medicine on. And you hid it too.
Yeah, I used to drop a lot of pills in the pig bucket too.
Pills? What pills?
Oh, that they had me taken for my eczema.
Well, the pigs were probably healthier than heck, huh?
They didn't have any skin rashes, I don't think.
Oh, God, what else? Oh.
I don't think about. Well, they might have had because I've seen a lot of
I'll
them.
never forget the
themselves.
time. Oh, when we were living on Vashon, my brothers had a bit. Well, I suppose because Mom didn't have a very good eye on us. There were just too many of us, and we were all over. But they were always getting in trouble. And the sheriff would come up to the house once a week and give us a new baseball and bat. And I tell you, we had more baseballs and bats.
I mean, you weren't getting in trouble.
Well, they went down to the school and they broke 48 windows out of the school.
Vashon High School, right, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they laid some new cement down there and they took their bikes and rode through it. I can't remember which ones did that now.
I don't know, but I remember having the greatest lunches at Vashon High School. I used to eat the whole noon hour. It was, and everybody would remark about it, how skinny I was, and I could eat so much and everything. And my brother Tony, he said, "I know why you don't get any dates, Evelyn." And I said, "Why?" He says, "'Cause you eat so much and you're so skinny, they all think you got worms." I believe that. I thought, oh no.
Well, wasn't it Mom that told us that story about that woman that had a tapeworm? And they had her laying on the kitchen table and they gave her some ether to knock her out and they started boiling cabbage on the stove or something and that tapeworm climbed out.
I don't remember that.
Well, that was an old, I don't know whether it was really true.
I know my girlfriend told me that her mother had a tapeworm or something, and it was really bothering her. They wanted her to. It was such a big one that they wanted her to have it come out alive, you know.
Because they didn't want it to break into segments.
Yeah, they wanted a specimen. He wanted to save it because it was such a big one. And the way to do it was to lean over a pail of milk.
Oh.
And it would come out through your mouth.
Oh,
and
God. I couldn't have done it.
I don't know if she did.
I'd have to be knocked out.
Have it operated on.
I'd have to be knocked out. You can make me open my mouth and have that thing crawling out.
Real flat, I guess.
Well, I remember the first time I remember Bill, the very first time that I recollect a memory of him, and I don't know how old I was. Bill should remember because I remember him coming home from the Navy. He had his whites on. And somebody had just read me the story of Jack and the Beanstalk. And I remember him going, "Ho, ho, ho! So this is Barbara, huh?" And he held me up. I screamed bloody murder. That giant had me. I was scared to death of him.
Bill was a tall guy.
Well, to me it was tall. I mean, all I seen was legs going up forever. And then, ho, ho, ho. I knew he was going to eat me. Now, he ought to remember how old I was and he was at that time. But
I was trying to remember when
I was
he came
too little to
home.
remember.
Dick and Ann were going together before Bill and Mary were. Bill came home after.
You know, I don't remember Dick too much as a kid.
I remember he belonged to ROTC.
Well, I remember him more after he was married and stuff. But I don't remember him as a kid.
Well,
I think the only ones I remember, I don't even remember Leo as a kid.
I remember I went there.
Tell about Leo in the movie theater.
Oh.
Oh, you got to tell that one, Evelyn.
How much tape you got anyway?
He's got 4 hours of it. He
No,
got
he's
us rolling
already-
now.
He already had 4 hours to begin with. Anyway, but
Let me put in a new tape and we'll start.